Hi ladies, how are you today? I'm just trying to find a good spot so that I'm not so that it's a good view here. Let me just bring it down just a little bit more. Good. And then while I'm waiting for ladies to join on anyway. So thanks everybody for giving me your information of what are the challenges that you're experiencing. And of course, I didn't mean to limit it to just one, so feel free to continue commenting because it just gives me more of an idea of what kind of conversations we should be having here on Healing Boobies, because ultimately what I want to do, my mission is to help you ladies get your happy back. And it's really difficult to get your happy back if you're living in this constant state of fear. And fear of recurrence is the biggest fear that most of us have. And I'm here to tell you that I have it too. Of course, there are moments when I am scared, or when I hear a story, or I feel a pain that's a little weird, and I go, I could have gotten there. And so I don't think our goal should be to never have a fear of recurrence, because I don't think that's realistic for most of us. I don't mean to limit you, so if that is something you don't think about, awesome, and I'm happy for you. But for those of us who are struggling with this fear, I have a couple of questions for you. And I just want you to start thinking about these things. Instead of just thinking about your fear of recurrence, have you ever thought about why you got cancer in the first place? Was it that Snickers bar, that one, or that extra glass of wine, or that extra cushion you have around your belly? I mean, some people would say that certainly these things can contribute to having a cancer growing environment. But I think if there was something super clear cut, we would all really know it, okay? And because we all know those people who eat beautifully and they still got cancer, right? So that's something to think about. So for myself and my journey on the Healing Boobies path here, really how I created and why I created Healing Boobies, is that no one really talks about this emotional connection, right? This connection between how we feel and manifesting cancer. It's very, very well established that certain emotions can create certain physical ailments. And we accept this when we hear of somebody who has a heart attack because they're stressed out. We go, oh, the poor guy was so stressed out, that's why he had a heart attack. We can understand that relationship. But not a lot of people are talking about what are the emotions that are surrounding breast cancer. And why I really want you to get clear on this and understand this is I feel like if you can really dig deep about what emotions are associated with that, things like resentments is a big, huge thing. Things like carrying around hatreds, whether it's hatred for yourself or others. Fear is another one. Grief, a big, huge challenge with grief. These are things that help manifest cancer or help bring cancer along to us. We set the stage to allow these kinds of things into our body. And if you guys are listening, I would love, I'm going to swipe left. Oops, nope. Okay, I'm going to swipe back. Feel free to chime in and say hi. I'd love this to be more of a conversation than me lecturing you guys. So these are things for us to really look at. So when I look at my own experience with a big C, it was around a time when I had been trying, hi Tiana, I'd been trying to get pregnant for years, and I had tremendous amount of grief about not being able to manifest a pregnancy. Happy to have you here, Heather. And I had this grief this really, and I have to say, you know, I was pissed at myself that, you know, I could help all these other people, like, because of course I treat women who are trying to get pregnant, and they get pregnant when they see me. So I did turn that frustration on myself, right? I did hold some resentment, and all these things, it is my belief, and mind body medicine is very well established, that these things set the stage. So when you think about fear of recurrence, what my brain goes to, and when I have my fears, I do work around that. I do some emotional work. I don't sit in my fear. I don't complain about my fear. I work on that fear. I use tools like emotional freedom technique, yoga, meditation, writing, you know, these are all the things that I talk about in the Healing Boobies course. I do these tools to help myself move past the fear. Because if you're living in fear all the time, right, then is it possible that some of these emotions can spark recurrence? I mean, we don't know. We do know there's an emotional connection to illness. So I say this to you because I try to get this across in my videos. Hopefully you guys have gotten my videos. And certainly in my course, for those who've taken my course, this is something we dive deep into. Because it's, at first glance, sometimes I'll work with women and they'll go, yeah, I don't have any resentments. I'm pretty good. You know, I didn't have any fear around the time. It was like a total surprise when I got breast cancer, and I didn't have any of those things. And after a little digging in there and me kind of, you know, trying to prod things around, very often we can find that there was something around the time of diagnosis. And so anytime I think about my own fear, having my own fear around this, I say, you know what, it's time to get tapping, you know, and that's what I do. The emotional freedom technique is one of the things that I use. I do yoga all the time. I use my essential oils. You know, they're emotional essential oils to actually help healing your emotions. So I use that too. I diffuse. I put the oils on my body. These are all things, but I think it's really important for us not to just say, yes, I live in fear all day, and accept that as your reality, because it does not need to be your reality, and you can move forward. You have to make the decision to, right? We have to, just like we make a decision to floss our teeth, right? We're gonna floss our teeth even when we don't feel like it, because we want to keep our teeth, right? So we have to take action to move past fear. We can't stay in here. It's not healthy for us. And so I want you to really take this time to say, yes, I have this fear and it's normal, but hey, I'm not going to be talking, you know, I'm not, okay, Ruth has a good, I think we need to get our fears out too, thinking about them and not trying to be braver and, talking about them and not trying to be braver and hold things in. That's true. I agree with you, Ruth. I feel like we do have to talk about them. And, you know, it's not about being braver. It's about using tools to process these emotions, right? So these are emotions. It's normal. You have to feel them. You have to go through them. But I don't want you to get stuck there. And so when you talk about talking about them, I agree to a point, but I do have some patients, or I should really call them clients when they're doing Healing Boobies with me, who, you know, at first they just like to talk about the problem. And you can talk about being, for example, I can talk about having extra weight on me, and nothing changes until I make very specific actions on improving that situation. So what I'm saying is, yeah, let's talk about them, but let's actually let them move through us. Let's experience the fear and let it move through, and not just stay in that fear. Because if you talk about things all the time, and I don't think this is really what you were saying, but I just want to, it's a really good point you made, so I do want to dive into it a little bit more. there are people who just talk about things, right? They talk about losing weight, they talk about exercise, and they talk about drinking water, they talk about eating right. They talk about all these things, but there's not any action behind it. So I just want to make sure that we have actionable things to do when we step into fear, because having fear is so normal. So Heather says, I have Reiki to help relax and only get the fear when hospital appointments are coming up. That's freaking awesome, Heather. That's great. And, you know, Reiki, I'm a level 2 Reiki master. I love Reiki. That's another tool in the toolbox. And I would continue to do Reiki because we need our own self-care in order to move through this daily thing. Now, maybe for you, Heather, Reiki has been that way of really how you move through having those fears that kind of needle up into our conscious. So I'm really happy that's worked for you. So anyway, ladies, continue to comment. Tell me what you think about what I say. And I know it might not resonate with anybody, and not anybody, woohoo, what does that mean? Resonate with everybody, but that's okay, because it doesn't need to, right? You can take this message if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, just let it go, right? Not everything's for everybody. But I'm hoping that this kind of sparking your thoughts on the why of cancer and how to really allow ourselves to experience emotion but not get stuck there may just help you get through those times when we do have a fear of recurrence. Anyway, ladies, it was so great to talk to you today. Thanks so much for tuning in for my live viewers, and for those who are watching on a replay, I appreciate you too. Please comment below. I'd love to hear what you say. And I also will continue to bring topics to you weekly that you're struggling with. So please let me know how I can help you and what you'd like to hear about. And if you are ready to learn these tools on a more personalized level, you can feel free to go to healingboobies.com. Oh, hey, Ruth. Oh, have a great day. You're awesome, and get us. Yeah, I know. I'm one of you. Of course I get you. And you're very welcome, Tiana. So, you know, you can check out healingboobies.com if you want to work together, either one-on-one, or you can even do the work on your own. I have self-paced videos that you can go through the course yourself, and as long as you actually do the work, you're going to get the results. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you have an amazing day.